Please like and subscribe to the Couch and the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Monday show, presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Download the app today. Bet against the Tigers. It's like a salary at this point. Like if you're not doing it, you don't have to do it if you want to lose money. I certainly don't bet on them, but it's a little extra change every single day. It seems like. Obviously, they have lots of other French Open, whatever else you want to bet on is there at the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app, or head on down to Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook off I-94 in Battle Creek for the in-house sportsbook experience. Jason, how you doing, brother?
That's the taint. That's the taint.
Not talking about this.
No.
That's crazy.
What do you want? I can't handle your gambling against the Tigers shit already to start the show off. I mean,
it's just too good.
No, it's not. It's not good. It's absolutely terrible. I'm not even watching the games anymore. Like, I don't like. I get notifications on my watch, and I'm about to turn those off because I just can't. I can't watch this baseball team, and I'm not going to sit there and win $20 on my favorite team losing to the fucking White Sox.
At this rate, little Cora's going to be able to go to an Ivy League school.
I'm happy for you, but you have no soul. You have no sports soul because you're a sports writer, and it's just you're dead inside. So it's easy for you to do that. I was dead inside once, seriously. With the Lions and everything, they made me dead inside. Then 2022 happened, then we turned things around, and then all of a sudden the fake Detroit Tigers teams that made the playoffs the past 2 years to give us some sort of excitement. I mean, Valenti hit it right because I like listening to Valenti when the Tigers are shit. I listened to Valenti the other day, and he was.
You don't have to say it like you're apologizing. It's okay.
Yeah, really. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, okay.
I just like it when Rico's not there. Like, Valenti is so much better. I don't know why he brought Rico onto that show. And I like Rico. It makes it sound like I don't like Rico.
It's
but
pretty rough.
I'm just saying Valenti by himself is it's all you need, especially when your team is in peril. And it's just.
What did he say?
He said that they were too busy smelling their own farts after last year. And I totally agree with him. This team absolutely thought that they could get away with this season by not making any moves. And Scott Harris and his smugness and dicking around with this Scooble situation that I just can't wait to see that guy. I mean, what has happened? Are we getting into it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened on what day is it? Sunday with A.J. Hinch and Montero has become. I mean, this has been a tipping point, I think, for a lot of fans
with Hinch.
Well. Yeah, with A.J. Hinch because I've always liked A.J. Hinch. I've always thought he was a smart, analytically driven guy who had the pulse of the team. And look, the team has responded, and the team, which was a complete joke for a long time.
But did he have the pulse?
I tell you what, the pitching, the managing job he did 2 years ago, especially, is one of the more incredible things. That run they had is one of the more incredible things I've ever seen. And so, I think, and the way they did the pitching chaos, I think sometimes he gets caught up being the smartest guy in the room. And
how are you still the smartest or trying to be?
Well,
I mean, and maybe you are, but after the whole cheating scandal with the Astros, to have that kind of arrogance and to see a team that you can't hit, and some of these players should not be on a major league fucking roster, and to sit there and then the excuses and the injury excuses. I just can't even hear him talk anymore in post games, talking about the injuries and all this other stuff. It's what are we doing?
There is something I want to talk about with Tarek Skubal and how it relates to the Montero situation on Sunday. So Skubal leaves, and here's a guy who pitches for you once every 5 or 6 days. Like, it shouldn't lead to this awful, awful record. You're 3 games above 500 when he left, and you just can't win now. But part of it was there's a mojo to having Tarek Skubal, right? There's a There's something about your confidence and the energy. And I'm not saying they weren't, with all the other injuries and with some of their limitations, they weren't bound to have regression and they weren't going to struggle. But something happened, obviously, as soon as he went out, right? They don't believe in themselves as much. What was really interesting about Sunday is you listen to A.J. Hinch explain why he takes out Montero in a 1-0 game with a guy who's cruising after 65, 66 pitches.
Knowing your bullpen's crap.
Right. And even if Anderson, Drew Anderson is pitching okay, why use him in the 7th? Why not use him later? Why not get another inning, maybe 2 out of Montero? But there was something interesting that I thought that I'll give Chris Castellani credit for this, because, and maybe he got it from the broadcast, but it was the energy difference that you saw. Like it was like the team knew it when they took him. I was like, it was something changed. The belief that they were going to win that game.
They should be used to it though.
Why
were they shocked?
What I'm saying is this is where analytics fails. This is where he doesn't have the pulse of this team. That team had a pitcher who was cruising with a lineup offensively that really struggles. You're up 1-0, and they were riding Montero, and he certainly had another inning in him, maybe 2. And then you take him out, and everybody feels like there's no way they're going to get through this. Like, he's got to read that. If you can't read that, you can't manage. Managing is not about just, hey, righty, lefty.
How does this team feel when they see Zach Short in the lineup? Or Ibanez? Or some of these other MFers. I mean, what do you mean? I get that. But if you're deflated after you see a Montero leave, then get the fuck out of Major League Baseball. I can't take that as an excuse.
What would you do?
Get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I'm trading schoolball. I mean, the season's over. It is a wrap. It is like almost mathematically impossible. That's what smart people tell me. I didn't come up with that on my own.
Well, right. At this point,
I'm not going to mathematically know what's going on. But I've heard people say that, so I feel like that means we're out of it.
At this point, if I mentioned a couple weeks ago jumping pretty heavy on the under 75.5 wins or under 76.5 wins.
For you.
It was
just move to Cleveland. I mean, you bet on the Cavs, you're betting on the Guardians, you bet on them last year. It's unbelievable, this guy.
It was pretty obvious, though, they weren't going to get to that point that they were reeling. But it's
paid for a whole semester of Cora's Lansing Community College.
School's definitely gone. There's no question. The question is, does A.J. Hinch survive this? And how does... Because I think, Scott Harris deserves a boatload of this criticism as well. And they might be married together, even though Harris didn't hire Hinch. And then, obviously, what's Illich think? I think Hinch survives this ultimately this year. I don't know whether he comes back. If this is the trajectory, if this is a team that wins 60 games, wins 65 games, I don't...
Blaming injuries.
Yeah.
Can we blame the injuries?
There's a certain point, too, and I understand you're not looking to throw... your players under the bus when they're trying to find confidence. But there's a certain point where you're a pro and it's just not good enough.
Right.
And like with Torkelson, and I understand he had a couple hits yesterday, but like the Torkelson experience, I mean, that was, and I understand everybody else would have taken him when they did, and that wasn't even Scott Harris's pick. I'm not saying the pick was the wrong pick at the time, but there comes a certain point where you have to realize this guy's not a major league first baseman. But
then he hits 30 home runs and gives you some hope. And it's every time that you sit there and want to get rid of Torque, you're like, all right.
You got to. At that position, you cannot produce the level he's producing. There are a number of guys who aren't producing at a major league level for the position they're playing, and I understand there are some guys who are out.
But what they've done to Colt Keith, I mean, this guy can't even hit a home run anymore. You sit there and you tell a guy that he's not going to be a day-to-day baseball player. I just don't know what you do with Colt Keith.
So the only thing
the
only thing you can do with the rest of the season, in my opinion, is you're not going to make the playoffs, even in this division. You're not good, and
that's crazy.
So the other thing, though, is if you want people to stay engaged, if you want people not to hate you, even if you've got a punchable face, what you have to do is now play the guys who are part of the future. Now, I've seen reports that Casey Mize is going to be on the block. Good. That guy's never healthy anyway. He should.
But what are you going to get for Casey Mize right now? 5 cents on the dollar?
Maybe you get something. What good is it?
I'd rather try to keep Casey Mize. I think when he can pitch, when he's not sitting there and straining his pube bone, I think that he could be an unbelievable pitcher. He could help us out. I like the way he's been pitching lately.
Okay, well, then keep him. Whatever you do, choose the guys that you're going to keep and feature
Riley.
Feature them. What I mean is don't righty-lefty them. Let these guys figure it out. Like guys like Colt Keith, if he's going to be an everyday player for you at some point, you paid him like it, let that guy figure it out. And so there are a lot of those situations. Let the young guys play. At some point, bring up guys who deserve a chance. You don't want to ruin confidence and everything, but you've got to create some juice. You've got to create some energy, and you've got to play for the future. And I don't know that they'll do that, but at a certain point, the math will be so obvious. But yeah, A.J. Hinch is frustrating right now because
and I don't even mind his analytics stuff. It's just
do you mind yesterday's decision?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Certain things, I guess I should say. I would deal with the analytics stuff over his post-game comments and talking to you like you're a complete idiot. I just miss the managers, the Tommy Lasordas, the certain guys that would sit there, the Leland, Jim Leland, my God, would sit there and start just talking shit about his team and how bad they're playing. I just want to hear it and how pathetic it is to have some of these guys hit the IL when some of these injuries, like, God damn, we can't play through a fingernail, breaking your fingernail. It's just, that's all. Like, I could deal with the analytics stuff. I think AJ is a great baseball manager, but sometimes he just drives me insane with the way he comments.
You should never let analytics get in the way of a feel of the moment. You know, I talk about this with, there's certain guys you just don't, it's in basketball. When they shoot it, they may shoot 37% from three, but you don't believe it's going in. And there are other guys who shoot 37% from three, and when they shoot, you believe it. Yeah. Same with guys at the plate. And I always talk about Omar Infante back on the 2006 Tigers, right? My least favorite player of all time. The guy batted like 260, 270, clearly had hits. I have never seen him get a hit, and I swear I watched most of those games back then. He was never going to come through when you need it. Same with Torkelson. Like when Torkelson, he may get on a run where he has 5 games in a row where he hits home runs. But overall, he is not he is not going to come through when you need him to. And frankly, Riley Green doesn't that often either. But
you don't like Riley Green.
I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. So at least you admit it when you're preaching your hate.
I don't.
He's the best player on the team.
You think he still is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's part of the future. So
positional player.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. I'm not. If you have a bunch of Riley Greens, you'll be fine. The problem is they have one Riley Green and a bunch of guys who are a lot.
So how do we go about like talking about this Tigers team from here on out? Because there's someone I follow on Twitter, Rogelio Castillo, Raj Cast Baseball. I like what he does. He does a lot of analytics stuff. He does the minor league stuff. But he tweeted out yesterday saying, salute to all the fellow Tigers writers, podcasters, and content folks still grinding through this stretch. Easy to disappear when the team is 22-37. Harder to keep showing up every day and still talk ball without turning everything into a meltdown.
Well, yeah, and
so is it just one of those cases where it's just if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything?
No, you have to focus on the guys fans still care about. So you have to focus on the frustration. You write about that, guys people are frustrated with. And then you write about the McGonagalls of the world. You write about the guys that have hope beyond this year. You know, I mean, when it comes to Scooble, who cares if he has a no-hitter? Because he's not going to be on next year's team. So you're not worried about that. You're writing about his trade. But guys are going to be around. That's what you're covering.
I mean, even Jason Benetti is getting negative on these broadcasts.
And he's paid by the time.
I know. So it's just like, what are you supposed to do?
Well, what you're supposed to do is download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. And
that's a live read right there.
Yeah. And if you, that's great. And I'm telling you, if you want to, you're not going to. The Tigers aren't going to lose every game, but certainly if Flaherty keeps pitching, when Flaherty pitches, you put a little bit on the under on the Tigers to lose the first 5 innings and the game, and everybody else you put the game.
Even when Montero pitches, they're going to pull him after 60 pitches, so they're going to let the bullpen blow it. So
and you bet it. Overall, you are going to win more than you lose.
This is ass.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I hate this.
Yeah. What's your next?
Like 3 years ago.
What's your next take?
I don't know. What else is there to talk about? I have something.
Okay.
I actually, because Treese is out of town, so I had to find something to watch on Netflix last night. Something because if I watch anything and she finds out about it, she's like, you watch that without me? So I have to pick something that there's no way on God's green earth. And it was soccer last night. It was a soccer documentary about Vinnie Jones. You know Vinnie Jones?
I don't even know who Vinnie Jones is.
You don't know Vinnie Jones?
Hold on. Why do I not know
the soccer? You don't know ball, bro?
Give me some Hoff. Hold on.
Vinnie Jones? The Bob Probert of soccer in the 80s and 90s? What the fuck?
Oh, the
free Ubers.
I mean, I knew him I didn't even know he was a real player. I knew him as an actor.
Well, don't ruin my whole thing. That was the whole part of the documentary, because I all of a sudden, you know how Netflix gives you a preview, a 10-second preview, and I see the 80s soccer, and even though I'm not a soccer fan, you go give me 80s or 90s kind of documentaries about sports, I don't really give a shit what it is. I'm in. And then they said he's like a hooligan, and then he grabs guys by the bollocks, which is like a fancy term, I guess, in Great Britain for dick and balls. So he was like, so I'm like, okay, absolutely, play. I'm going to watch this, absolutely. But then I'm like, they're showing the young footage of Vinny Jones, and I'm like, that guy looks so freaking familiar. Like, where do I know that? So anyway, the second half is about him becoming an actor, but the first half is about soccer. I know that you would love, anybody that loves soccer would love this documentary. But he was definitely one of those guys on the soccer field that was a menace, not a flopping guy, but would absolutely go at guys' legs, and it was absolutely great. But anyway, so then I'm watching halfway through. Piers Morgan's in it. It was actually a really good documentary. Well, he was in Guy Ritchie's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
That was his
debut. And I'm like, that's where this MFer's from. So the whole thing, he's done over 100 films. Very entertaining dude. So anyway, I highly recommend that, but I thought you would be more shocked that I knew. I can't believe you didn't know Vinny Jones.
I didn't. No, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now. I mean, I knew him as the actor. I didn't know he was a footballer for real.
And if you're really like me that doesn't like soccer, I know you guys would still dig this. If you're in my age range and you like that kind of stuff.
He was still playing for Wimbledon and then Queens Park Rangers when he started acting, apparently, which is kind of cool. He played for
not the tennis tournament. There was actually a team called Wimbledon.
Yeah, it's AFC Wimbledon. Yeah,
because I was wondering that too. I had to look it up.
Yeah, no,
but anyway, he's like the Bob Probert of soccer in the 80s and 90s. They should bring that style of soccer back. I mean, they tried to. He said that they shoved him out. They didn't want him any. They didn't want the hooligans of the game anymore. Mm-hmm. I think that would be. I mean, why make soccer more interesting? That would be crazy. But anyway,
well, I have a few things. One, speaking of soccer, one of the great sports weekends, underrated sports weekends in a long time. And I think a lot of people missed it because they were just hung up on what isn't happening right now, and the Tigers suck, and there's all this stuff. But you get the Champions League final, really good final. I wouldn't call it a great final, but really good final between PSG and Arsenal. It goes down to penalty kicks at the end. PSG wins. You get a Game 7 in the NBA and an actual really good game. I know a lot of people complain about the NBA on this show, a lot of our listeners. But, like, that Thunder Spurs Game 7 was incredible. It was really well played. It was interesting. It was dramatic. Like, if you don't like that, then
we just don't like the flopping.
I know. Well, the flopping's gone.
Right.
The Spurs, the Thunder are out. So I understand that. But that was an incredible game. And, like, all these people like watching, like, shitty, low-level Big Ten basketball, love or don't like that. That was incredible. Then you have Fonseca Djokovic, one of the great 5-set matches you'll see. Sinner's out of the tournament, and Djokovic is, trying to get his 25th, and he's 25th major title. He's 39 years old, and Fonseca, who just won a 5-setter coming back from 2 sets down, does it again, and just, really a coming-of-age story for him. Has all the tools in the world, a lot of fun to watch. It was a really, really, really good, underrated sports weekend, and
it just got crazier. Oops, not that. Breaking news. Sources: Browns, Rams finalizing Myles Garrett blockbuster trade. What the fuck?
That's not good for the Lions. Don't need Garrett.
Jared Verse from the Rams on the way to Cleveland, apparently. And 2027 first-round draft pick and other draft compensation is still being negotiated. But apparently, Myles Garrett is going to the Rams. Man, I just want a front office that does some shit like this. Brad Holmes, are you watching this? I mean, what would it have taken to get Myles Garrett? I want to know. Is that what it would have taken? We don't have a Verse, but who else we got? You want Jack Campbell? Anyway, yes, great sports weekend.
The two more things. One,
unfucking believe.
Speaking of the NBA Finals, a lot of shit for Chet Holmgren, taking a lot of grief.
Oh yeah,
and
his name's Chet.
Wemby just dominated him, right? But
Wemby's probably one of the top 5 players in the league. 100%, and he's 7'5".
100%. But
cut Chet some slack.
A year from now, his contract, 5 years, $240 million. Guys making almost $50 million a year, goes into play. So this is the whole point with Jalen Duren and the Pistons too. And the Pistons were able to look. They're going to pay him $40 million maybe, and that's probably I think it's probably too much. But this is the thing you want to. This is why before you sign the contract, you want to see what somebody's made of, because. Like, Chet Holmgren can't deal with Wemby. He was almost unplayable. And I think if the Thunder had been healthy, they would not have played him entirely. And if you want that kind of money, though, if you want the max deal, you get the smoke. Like, if you're Chet Holmgren and you take that kind of deal where you push your team into the second apron and you limit what they can do down the road and all that stuff, you have to understand that you have to be good enough to counter Wemby. You have to be good enough to counter the other team's best big man. Otherwise, if you want to just be a guy, make $25 million. But if you're going to make 50, and nobody's going to take less, if you're going to make 50, understand this is what comes with it. All the criticism is fair. Everything. Every day you don't win a championship, or they don't win a championship because of you. It's largely because of you. You're making $50 million. Do not take the money if you don't want the smoke after. And I think for the Pistons,
yeah, but if you're Chet, you just handle the smoke and then take the $48 million.
There's an argument.
Like, yeah,
there's an argument for that.
I eat oxtail, or some say so. Whatever Chet says.
All right, one more thing. Changing.
I can't believe Myles Garrett's going to the Rams. What are you talking about? What's going on?
Michigan State football.
Oh yeah.
Good weekend this past weekend, and next on the recruiting front. Some real dudes visiting. Some guys, 4-star guys with options, right? The type of momentum you want to have in a program that we haven't really seen in a while since Mel Tucker stopped with the Lambos and all that stuff. I think I'm torn on, because we talk about how little high school recruiting matters this time of year and how many guys commit and then decommit. What is really important this season is momentum this year. And it doesn't have to be a great year. Expectations are low. But recruits can feel vibes. They can feel like a trajectory. Does it seem like it's working? And so they know they're coming to a team with they may not know the exact over-under of Vegas of 3.5 wins is what's expected for Michigan State football. But they know things are down. And yet they're giving Fitzgerald and Michigan State a look seriously. They're coming to campus on an official visit. That's all important stuff. You have to exceed expectations. Expectations are low, but you can't have this season spiral because some of these guys, if you get them to commit, will decommit. Those who are still interested won't commit. Like the only way the June recruiting period becomes something is if September and October aren't disasters. You've got to keep their attention. You've got to make them think this is going in the right direction. You don't have to win big this year. They'll happily win big when they get there. But I thought it was interesting to see some of the names, some of the guys who were there, and I think it's important that they're getting a little bit of juice in June because there's been zero juice to that program. We'll see if it means anything come November and in the signing day and all that stuff. But not the worst weekend and a couple weekends for Michigan State football.
Got me juiced.
Let's
hold on. I'm not done. We'll just have a couple quick because there's going to be a show note in here. By the way, we're only doing 2 shows this week. By the way, shout out to Norm's picks. One of them got through. Alex Smalley, Andrew Putnam, top 30 plus 440. All right, and the Charles Schwab Challenge. But this week, Graham, I'm going to the Holy Land. I'm going to Jack's Place. I'm going to the Memorial Tournament, a signature event PGA tournament on Thursday for T and I's anniversary, our wedding anniversary. She's still married to me after 4 years. So we're going to go celebrate watching some of the best golfers in person.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Only 2 shows this week. We're going to do today, and obviously we're going to do Wednesday. Thank you for everybody dealing with
I think
it's
cool that you've got a wife that thinks this is a fun anniversary trip.
I know. It's crazy that someone would have a wife that actually loves what their husband is into. And would give. I mean, why does the anniversary always have to be with the wife? Like, actually, she likes going to these golf events, by the way. But I mean, why is it a crazy thing? Year 4.
Hey, man, when she helped you pee on the second date, you had her. That's
at a wedding.
No
Absolutely, I was in love.
Yeah.
Who you telling? I understand what I'm. Yeah. I'm just saying, why is it some crazy thing? Like it has to be always the woman we get. What does she want to do? I don't know. We can do what she wants to do on the way back. There's got to be something in Columbus or something we can. Yeah, I have to drive to Ohio though, so that's going to be fun. Yeah. Anyway, we talked about Tom Izzo's mom?
No, we haven't.
Rest in peace, Dorothy.
Yeah, she
living to 100.
Yep.
She birthed a Hall of Famer. I mean, come on. Rest in peace, Dorothy.
100 years, pretty good deal, pretty good run.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to live to 100, but I wouldn't.
I want to live to. If you can guarantee me, like Dorothy lived. I mean, she lived a great life. I mean, she was still active and all that stuff till the end.
Yeah. No doubt.
In 2016, that video of her in 2016 going into the locker room, and all of a sudden her and Tom. I mean, come on.
Well, that's
man.
what's cool.
You can't shed a tear off that.
Like my grandma hit 100 and then passed away not long after that. But she was the last 7 years or so, she was living in 1942 Manchester. Like it wasn't that she was still physically there, but like, and I don't know if, I don't know if I want that.
Is that good to live in 1942 Manchester?
Well, not during the war. No.
Oh.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like it. Oh, I see.
Right.
So it was terrible at the end.
Well, no, it wasn't terrible. She was happy.
Oh.
But she had to be cared for around the clock.
Well, yeah. If you get to that age, if you're 93.
So what would you rather have? So my wife's grandma lived in her mid-90s, and she was sharp as a tack, right? She taught me how to play euchre. She was mean on it with euchre. She was great. I loved her competitive spirit.
Yeah.
Wonderful, amazing woman. But her body was falling apart the last 5 years. She was in discomfort a little bit, but sharp. Would you rather be not have your mind anymore, but physically able to walk around, stand on one foot, all that stuff, or be sharp in pain? What would you rather have? You can only choose one.
Is this a Jack Ebling
question?
Jack
Ebling, this is hypothetical.
I would rather not know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that whatever's going on at 47 years old in another 40 years. Get me out of here. So, yeah, let the mind.
Do a reunion
There's
show
no
in
way
90s?
this ticker up here is surviving another 40.
No. God,
I'm trying to make it to 60. I got 13 years here. I'm just trying to make.
If I make my 70s, can you imagine the stories I'll tell in my 70s and how long it'll take me to get to the point? It'll be absolutely brutal. Well,
with a 17-year-old daughter.
we have what I think is going to be a good show today. We are going to dig into to your takes. Yeah. We also have a new member of the crew, a new member of the cast here at Couch in the Rube. We're going to introduce him after this break, and we'll get his takes as we get into yours as well. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app.
Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with one awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. Firekeepers Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play. From your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Please like and subscribe to the Couch in the Rube YouTube channel. Also, download podcast episodes wherever you get your podcasts. For sponsorship opportunities, email Jason at couchandtherube.com.
Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. Download the app today. You'll love the upgrades they've made. Or just head on down to Dacey's Taproom and Sportswalk off I-94 in Battle Creek. No need to go to Vegas. You can lose your money right here in Michigan at Firekeepers Casino, or download the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook and have it right.
Is that in the script?
That was not in the script. Oh, okay. But you might as well keep it local, right? Keep it in state. That's
yeah, but Graham, I want to be a winning gambler.
And a lot of people win there too. That's the other thing. It's a lot of fun. A great place for a date night. A lot of restaurants, sports books, the casino floor right there. Good vibes at Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook and Dacey's Taproom and Sportsbook. All right, Jason.
Yeah, man.
For the first time, we've been doing this show what, 8 years?
Yeah, it seems like that long.
Yeah. We have a new member. We have an intern.
We do.
Yeah. Nolan Jamber from Michigan State. Going to be a senior next year. Nolan, the intern, is joining the cast for the summer.
And Couch asked him if he had a nickname, by the way, too, before the show, and he got all got all butthurt couch when I started laughing my balls off. He's like, "Do you have a nickname you go by at all?" And I just start laughing and Couch goes, "Yeah, I get made fun of here, by the way." Like, come on, dude. It's all in good fun. We bust each other's balls. Don't be a sad sack.
I wasn't a sad sack.
It's first day, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, Nolan.
Thank you.
What would you like your nickname to be? If you had a nickname, what
So, I mean, like...
Iceman?
Iceman. That'd be kind of funny. I mean, people just call me like Nolan, Jambo. People call me Nojo just because Nolan Jamber kind of like combined.
Nojo or Nolan the intern?
Nolan the intern probably work out best. People don't know me
Okay.
enough to call me Nojo yet, I
Okay,
guess.
Nolan the
Talk
intern.
right into that mic, Nolan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry
Remember
about that.
You got it.
But you just call me the bitch. I mean,
Oh, Jesus.
Whoa, wow, going there. Yeah. No, it's not. That's not. We don't need the folks at MSU being like, we do not need.
Hey, the bitch.
Yeah.
You go get me a pickle over at, make sure it's quartered over at Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
No, we don't do that here.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Tell people a little bit about yourself. The dream is play by play, right?
Yes,
and,
sir.
And you're from South Lyon.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little about yourself.
well, yeah, I'm a senior at Michigan State. You're going to be a senior. Came into state here at 2023 with the idea going into, I'm studying broadcasting, and then the idea was going into sort of just play-by-play, on-camera, color commentary, something like that. And then my backup was kind of like marketing, PR, just kind of explore the world. I want to work in sports. I don't care what I'll do. It'd be do a podcast like this or just work, for the Lions, Tigers, just some sports organization. I could do NHL. I don't follow NHL that much, but I'd do that. Maybe soccer. Go work for
Don't
Tottenham.
do that to yourself.
Well, my advice is don't have a backup plan too early. 'Cause
That is fair.
it's hard.
Yeah.
You'll run into it if you don't chase your absolute dream. Well, Nolan is here to fix the show. We brought him in. We're gonna have him analyze it, break it down. So by the time we get to the fall, and Nolan's back at school, we have a better, more palatable show for.
We need you to come up with a way that we can forget about the Tigers. So if you can come up with a segment or something, or make something interesting over the summer for us.
So we have to watch the Tigers all summer, so it's gonna be hard not to watch them. Could be watching the Pistons, but now I gotta watch the Tigers instead.
Yeah,
Sucks.
So we'll have Nolan
and watch
on.
Myles Garrett go to the Rams.
God, that's unbelievable.
We'll have Nolan on a little bit every Monday, and then also, as you see improvements from the show, that's all his work.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, bitch.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's not getting hasty now. We can get hasty.
All right, so let's. Today we're doing. Obviously, listener takes, our takes. Do you have any, based on anything we said, or any takes out there, things that are on your mind?
Well, obviously, you're talking about the Tigers. We suck, so we got enough into that. But you also mentioned, President Guskovich leaving for University of Clemson. Good for him, but it just sucks that he's leaving so early into his term. And it was actually so obvious that he wanted to stay here as well, how much he actually cared and loved for the school. But, the board of trustees, they just didn't want him here. They didn't like what they were going for, and then he decided to leave for, honestly, what was probably best for him.
Did students like him generally, your peer group?
I've never walked on campus and not seen him taking pictures with somebody. I think everybody loved him. I've met him one time. I was just, so handshake, hey man, great to meet you. Thanks for doing what you do. And I liked him a lot. Really genuine guy. I was posting on Instagram with him a lot. I was around campus at events, and he's a really down to earth dude from what I hear. And I think what he did was great. It just kind of sucks he's leaving. Yeah, I was here for 2 years, 2.5, I believe. It's really short term, but now we don't even have a president. We're gonna have an interim probably for half the school year next year, which kind of sucks. But
yeah, no, whether he wanted to be there long term or not, I think he wanted to be there longer than he was.
Yeah.
Now there are rumors that he had looked at other jobs, and who knows how long he would have been there. But he obviously things weren't. The board of trustees was putting some roadblocks up, and look, they have some arguments. We talked about this, Jason, too. Their job is oversight. And some of what a couple members were frustrated with does fall into the purview of oversight. And so, I understand it from their perspective. I also think the board struggles sometimes also to understand their role. Beyond oversight, you're not there to make policy and legislation. It's not your agenda. You're there to support and oversee and hold people accountable. And I sometimes just think that board there does not get it. And I also don't think in 4 years from now, it'll still be a elected board. Let me ask you this. Have you voted yet in an election in your life?
Yeah, I voted in I voted the last election, actually, yeah.
So have you voted? So the board of trustees are on there?
Yeah.
So you've voted for a board of trustees. Did you know who they were?
I didn't know a single person. When I voted, I didn't even look at who they were.
You just voted for one of them.
That's the problem. I didn't
yeah.
vote. I didn't look into it because obviously it was my university. I just voted whoever I thought looked cooler or the name. I saw the name and said this name looks cool. No, that's the problem. That's why someone like me didn't actually do the research, and now we're stuck with these people who are.
What made him look cool?
President. And you said what?
What made him look cool?
The name. I don't know, like a hyphen in the name, like a cool last name.
So this is it right here.
Yeah, that's the problem. Me doing stuff like that.
Somebody needs to tell these people. No, and I get it. It's not just you. If there's going to be an election statewide, and I don't think there should be, but if there was going to be, it should be the only thing on the ballot. So you have to go just for that. So you know what you're doing, because these people think they were elected. They weren't elected. No. They just got lucky. They happened to win the most votes. Nobody knows who the hell they were. Pat O'Keefe, for fuck's sake, was and nothing against Pat O'Keefe, nice guy, but like Pat O'Keefe only got elected to the MSU board because people thought he was the Grand Ledge baseball coach. Like this is this stuff. This is not the way to do it. It'll be interesting to see what happens over there, and I think most students agree with you. I mean, he certainly was well liked, and certainly there's more to the job than being beloved by students and being engaging. But he was very approachable, and that's not that is something that not everybody has as a skill. Is there anything else on the?
So Nolan, would you like look more into it now? The next time you're going to vote,
definitely going back on it, especially even like for next election. Even though I won't be a student here at that next election, that's like what 2028. I won't be a student unless I'm getting my master's, which I doubt that happens. But I mean, I'll actually be doing research. I don't want the next kids to come in here, lose their president, or lose like a professor they care for because the board doesn't like them or doesn't want to pay them. But also at the same time, like I saw Governor Whitmer wants to abolish like the voting and make it like she appoints them, I believe is what it was, or the president appoints them. I forgot what it was.
It's
but
the governor, yeah.
Yeah, the governor, she wants to appoint them, which was actually great because obviously she'd be able to, as an MSU alumni, she won't be here that much longer, but
she'll be gone.
Yeah, she'll be gone. But she might go. I mean, I was talking to my mom. Maybe she like runs for like MSU president down the road.
Well, she would be a good fit. The challenge with the gubernatorial thing is, to me, this is its own set of problems because you have your own, power struggles that could happen, and a governor wanting to control the board and things like that. I don't think it's perfect. It's a different set of problems. You get rid of the problems you have for another set. I think there's got to be a way to vote where you have to be you should have to be a faculty, alumni, student, somebody who gives a shit about the university. You should be able to. You shouldn't have to live in Michigan, I don't think, to be on the board because you can fly in and there are alumni everywhere. I just think you got to try and get the best people and find the way to get the best people, and maybe the governor thing will work. But there are lots.
But you want to set that precedent where they don't have to live here, because that's what I think that annoys people a lot. Like if you're not,
but if you're an alum, why you care about if you fly in every time? It's on your. It's got to be on your dime to fly in. I guess. But that's not what they're going to want to do. But yeah. Anyway, that would be, But I don't think it's. Look, they can't keep doing what they're doing. It's not working. And there are 3 campuses all that have had some turmoil with their boards and are all without presidents at Wayne State, Michigan, and Michigan State, the 3 that choose them the way we do. And none of us know who any of these people are, and we keep voting them in. And they should not ever feel like, hey, I got elected.
Wait, who are the other 2 universities you're talking about?
Mean State and Michigan.
Oh, and you mean like in Michigan?
In Michigan that do this. Very few places do nationally, but in Michigan there are 2 other universities that elect the board on the ballot, like Michigan State.
Yeah, I also know Michigan's they also don't have a president right now. They were just talking about that, and my mom was telling me Mac and all. They were talking about how like no president or like no I guess elected official wants to go be like. Michigan doesn't have. They have 3 presidents right now. Michigan State, Michigan, and I think Wayne State.
Yeah, the 3 that.
Yeah, they don't have any presidents. Like how is that? I'm not sure how you can't get a president for pretty esteemed universities. Like I would say Michigan, MSU, and Wayne State are probably the 3 best at least colleges in Michigan.
Well, they're all slightly different situations, but it's to me it's a problem because if you're not going to have people who are going to be there for 5, 7, 8 years, you lose continuity. You lose people have initiatives that don't follow through. We'll get into some more of that too with the listener takes as well. Do you have any other takes on any other subjects, Nolan, before we dive into these listener takes?
Knicks in 6. I'm gonna say Knicks in 6.
Okay.
Wembanyama's gonna have a phenomenal series, but Jalen Brunson's he's the greatest playoff riser we've seen in 10 years, and he's gonna take the Knicks to a championship for the first time in 50 years. Go Knicks.
That's like almost plus 200 maybe on the Firekeeper's Casino and Sportsbook app.
It was plus 240, right?
Yeah,
before the series.
The money that was lost, and I saw this and thought about it and didn't do it and should have done it, and I'm annoyed by it. Is going into Game 6, the Spurs were plus like 570 to win the title.
Wow.
And that seems like good value now, and obviously it's great value now.
Wait,
but
Game 6 of last series?
Well, yeah, they had to win those two games.
Oh.
They were like plus 570 to win. It was after the Knicks had already advanced.
Yeah.
And the Knicks were like plus 250 or plus 240, as Jason said there. So Knicks and 6, huh? That's what you got.
Well, it should have been Pistons versus Knicks, but that's a different discussion for a different day, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I would have loved to have seen that. I think the Pistons would have been a much better would have put up a better fight than Cleveland did for sure. I just think there's so much there, so much animosity, so much history even from last year, the way the regular season unfolded. And we just saw, for people who think it wouldn't have mattered because the regular season doesn't matter, we just saw that San Antonio beat Oklahoma City when it was San Antonio in the regular season. That was when they first sort of laid down the gauntlet that they might be real when those 3 games in like December when they beat OKC. Now, OKC was beat up. They're not healthy. They'd be stupid to break it all up or overreact because they're missing like 2 of their best 4 players. But I still think like the Pistons-Knicks would have been a series. I think the Knicks probably win it, but it would have been a series, and I would have loved to absolutely loved to have seen it.
We did have that. We 3-0'd them this year. Each game was by like 20 plus points. It was like 40 win, 30, like 40-point win, 30-point win, like a 20-point win. But still, I think even like you were saying, like people say like you can win the regular season but not win in the playoffs, and like that kind of happened last year against the Knicks as well. But I think this year was different. I think if Jalen Duren didn't play definitely down like he did, I think we definitely would have had a shot. And I think we definitely could have beat him, but Jalen Brunson is just insane at basketball. But Cade's better, so that's all I'm going to say. Cade Cunningham.
I would take Cade over Jalen. Younger,
100%.
better
defender, taller, stronger, better 3-point.
Yep.
Sounds like a July topic.
July topic. We'll have more July topics with our friend Nolan.
Cade or Jalen Brunson.
Nolan the intern.
Who you taking?
Nolan, good debut. We'll do this every week. We'll do a segment with you, and whether we do takes or something else, it'll be fun. And,
looking forward to this. This is awesome.
Glad to have you, Nolan.
Welcome to the show. All right, are we ready to dig into these listener takes?
Let's do it. Eric Schultz up first. In response to last week's question about hated MSU people, Alan Haller is number 1, Graham. It's not particularly close. Responsible for what? 2 of the 5 worst contracts in college football history? Chose modern day Muddy Waters over Signetti? Hard to be that incompetent, but the guy sure showed it could be done. That's your guy.
Yeah,
Haller.
So I'm forgetting who all the other people there. I don't know that. I think Haller will be remembered again. Maybe it'll be me alone with the golf clap, standing myself.
Dude, you'll be clapping fast.
It will be.
You'll be looking around, hoping other people join in.
Like he had a vision.
Hey, Alan.
He had a vision to sort of respect and compete in the non-revs as well, and he knew football was the driver and basketball as well. But that is going by the wayside, and so his vision for that is out. So if you care about that stuff, if you're somebody who cared about how MSU gymnastics did, if you liked the run by MSU tennis, if you liked, whatever.
Love that. I loved it.
Whatever it is, then that's Haller's work to some degree. But you're right. The football decision he got wrong, and he got wrong in terms of fit. He picked somebody who everybody thought, or a lot of people thought, was a good hire at the time. I thought it was a great hire with Jonathan Smith
until you heard him talk. Until you heard Jonathan Smith talk, you were just like, oh, really? This guy's going to motivate young football players. Okay.
You know how everything's a reaction to the previous coach? Like when you get a player's coach and it doesn't work out, you hire a hard ass and vice versa and all that stuff usually.
Yeah.
I think this was too far in the, let's get the vanilla white guy after Tucker and the experience that happened. And I'm not saying the Tucker
sounds like a column.
Had anything to do with race. Well,
we don't have enough time for all of that.
But Signetti is the Saban-esque hard ass that probably needed to be vetted and gone after, and obviously. But here's the thing about Signetti. I get it. I get that he could have had Signetti. There are like 25 schools that probably could have had Signetti or fought Indiana for them that year. There are a number of teams that could have had Signetti a year earlier. People screwed that up. He's obviously great. If people knew he was going to be this, Indiana wouldn't have gotten him. But that's part of Alan Haller's job, and he did not get that right. And then the other big piece was the donor base didn't have faith in him, and he had shunned them a little bit in making that decision. And part of that job is, finessing it with billionaires and making it work. So yeah, I can't remember all the people in those 5, but I don't think it'll be Haller.
But Haller? It blows my mind that Haller had conversations with Jonathan Smith and was like, yeah, this guy's going to be great with donors. You know, like had to have met with him for a full day when they first met, right?
Well, Heller wasn't.
And he walked away going like, you know what? This guy is going to hit the ground running here, I think.
He wanted a competent football program, and there was evidence that Jonathan Smith would deliver that, and he didn't. And he also
at Oregon State.
He also didn't have a ton of time, and it was interesting when they were introducing Pat Fitzgerald. You do not see this very often when the football coach is fired. The way that the previous both Guskowitz and Jay Batt talked about Jonathan Smith and thanking him because they knew he got screwed. And I don't think it would have got any better. And I don't think in the modern times where you don't have time to build and you need momentum of financing and all that stuff. But it would not have taken much for Jonathan Smith to get a third year. He beats UCLA or he beats Nebraska. He's still the football coach today.
Yeah. Are we supposed to be bummed by that or more settled? I don't know. How am I supposed to take that?
I don't know.
All right.
However you want.
Dominic, number 1, A.J. Hinch is an overrated peen. Pulling your starter who's hurling a 2-hit shutout after 65 pitches. Do you want a cranberry juice, A.J.? How's the cramping? Any hot flashes? I respected you more when you cheated, you analytic dildo. 2, if Mad Dog fills in for Couch for one of his 13 impending emergency summer furloughs, I will be showing up to Spotlight on 60 MGs and watching him and Rube outside the plexiglass with a groovy donut. Not kidding. And 3, I don't think anybody really writes in with soccer takes, gambling or otherwise. I think Graham has 24 burners to satisfy his Euro fetish. That's like 20 on Blue Sky and 4 on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
There's no way he could keep that many straight, though.
No, I would screw it up. I would respond to myself accidentally or to the wrong person. Yeah, it would be bad.
He's already ruined the Couch and the Rube account. I mean, Jesus.
I'd get caught. It was I'm not slick enough to actually pull off what you're suggesting.
Column
there.
comes first. Column's more important. Send. This guy. All right, the dream. MSU basketball is in the midst of a golden era that looks to last at least another 3 seasons, and we're all too jaded and distracted by the chaos to appreciate it. Like Dr. Seuss said, you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory.
Do you think this is a golden era?
Oh, that was Dr. Seuss? I thought that was Latz.
Well, both.
I think Latz says that.
Dr. Seuss got it from Latz. Do you think this is a golden era for MSU basketball?
I guess. What do you consider a golden era, though? I feel like, are we just throwing that term loosely?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like golden, I don't. Oh.
So if the golden era is Izzo, then that counts. That's 30 years. Sure, sure. But in terms of Izzo's tenure, is this?
It's always golden to have Tom here. Yeah,
it's back on the upswing, and that is, and certainly the type of recruits they've been getting. You know, even the class that didn't wind up being everything they hoped it was. Like the last time there was a really good returning group and great class coming in, it was the Booker Fears group, right? And that didn't pan out because Booker wasn't the player they hoped he'd be. But it also was a sign that Izzo at that stage was still recruiting at a really high level. So they had 2 problems with that class. A.J. Hogard was your point guard, and Booker didn't wind up being what he was. And so that got overhyped. And you hope that isn't the same scenario here. But I don't know. There have been better ages under Izzo, but better eras within the Izzo era. But this is a pretty good one. For a guy in his 70s and what's the final chapter, this is a pretty good final chapter when you consider how the final chapter looks for some other guys.
People are nuts. I'm not nuts. They're nuts.
The Pat O'Keefe of Southern Maine next. Sisman Zapawa averaged 4.3 points, 4 rebounds, and half a block. Ade Mara averaged 12 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 2.6 blocks. Anton Bonke is going to be much closer to Zapawa than Mara. I don't think Ethan Taylor and Jesse McCullough do enough in the post for MSU's ceiling to be higher than the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Bonke is, and look, Zapawa was a pretty good player, and he fit a need there, and he gave him some size. They need Bonke to be better than Zapawa. They just do, and I think he will be, because I think he'll be better as a rim roller, and I think there's more to his game offensively. The defense is the thing there are 2 elements of Anton Bonke that I want to see that I don't know. Like, can he be a rim runner up and down the court? They didn't do a lot of that as his last stop. He didn't play much before then at Providence, at least. I don't know, and they don't. That doesn't necessarily have to be his role. I just don't know if that's in his game or not. And then the defense and what sort of defender is he for Michigan State? And because that'll dictate a lot of things. I think offensively he's going to be better than Zapawa. The question will be his defense to me and how much of an impact he makes there. They don't need him to be brilliant, but I think they're going to need him to be better than Zapawa to maximize this
let's
group.
be brilliant, though. Why not? Kurt Wisniewski, the Tigers are extremely disappointing. It's time to bring up Max Clark and Max Anderson and any other AAA player to see what we have. Graham, please do a health check on Castellani.
I still watch those videos after every game.
Is your boy okay?
I think it's just rough. When your life is built around the Tigers and Tigers videos, this is not good.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing. I mean,
ours kind of revolves around that
not
during
the
summer
way.
months.
We don't let it impact our psyche that much. Like you're going to, like you're not going to be at the memorial this weekend with your beautiful wife, hanging out, celebrating the two of you and your relationship and your marriage, going, Tigers, that sucks. Today sucks.
I didn't do that yesterday, and I was on the deck.
There you go,
chipping golf balls out back.
Right. So you're not.
I mean, I didn't think about the Tigers at all yesterday, except for when I got updates on my watch.
Very different experience than what Castellani's dealing with every day. Yeah. It's unbelievably disappointing. And
does it make you less of a fan?
Well, no, it doesn't.
Like, do you feel like you have to watch every game in order to be a diehard?
I don't have time for that anyway.
Not you. No, I'm just saying in general. People that follow a team.
Baseball is too many games for that. Baseball is about following a team. It's not about watching every game because it's just too many games. All of a sudden you pop up. It's like Thursday at 1:05. It's like, oh, they're playing right now. Crap. That's impossible to do, especially in a World Cup summer. French Open, Wimbledon, World Cup. There's a lot going on. A lot happening.
Soccer is boring.
Matt next. Betting against the Tigers has been an ATM machine. The one way to take solace in this miserable season.
Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Firekeepers can pay you. They'll keep the money in Michigan or wherever, as well. I
can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't. I know. I don't know. Maybe midway through. I don't know.
It's not like I'm putting a lot because there's a lot of variance in baseball. The Tigers will win at some point. They'll win 3 in a row, and you're going to be like, oh, crap. I would not advise anybody to be like, this is the run. We're going to put $500 on it. Don't do that.
You got to have a bullpen to go on some sort of run.
But putting a little pizza money on against the Tigers, it feels good when they lose, and if they win, you don't feel like you lost that much, and overall, you're going to win.
Spartan 18770 next. This MSU Board of Trustees situation is an example of when a historically influential group suddenly realized that their power is waning due to the evolving landscape of their business. MSU must rectify this problem quickly, or they will fall behind in athletics for decades.
Well,
you think it's decades? They don't get it.
You can get things wrong, and it can really set you back. There are different areas here. There's obviously like the stadium district. There's campus. There's putting commercial buildings in the middle of campus, which a lot of people are against. So some people are happy that Guskowitz is away. We'll see whether those projects go forward. There's the athletics component to all this, but the Board of Trustees has been. And this is not everybody on that board. Lots of people go in there with good intentions, but some people are just cantankerous asses too, and they're putting their foot down to argue with everything too often. I have a little bit of sympathy for them, not in the way they went about it, a couple of them, but this situation with the stuff with private money and not being able to have what they view as their role and oversight. I have a little sympathy for them, without question. I think it's
like how much. A little bit.
I don't love the way they handled it, but I would certainly, if I were on the Board of Trustees, I would have gone along with this probably, but I would have let Guskowitz know behind the scenes that I don't love this, and if this starts to go south, or like things aren't things, then I will raise a fuss and we'll have to unwind some things. But although once you start building on campus, and that's the one, the Spartan Ventures and Spartan Media Ventures, I have less of an issue with. You have Greg Williams, who's
and Don,
Greg and Don Williams, who are not deterred at all, from what I understand, and the Jay Batt, those whole things going to go forward. And you're trying to do something in an area where you're otherwise failing. You're trying to be creative because there just isn't enough money otherwise. You have to do something else. And if people want the way it used to be in perfect oversight, and these are public universities and all that, and they want to be pure down to the bone,
Who's that?
I don't know what that voice was. Apologize. That's fine, but then raise your hand and say, I'm good with 4-8 football, and accept it and be on the record with it. If you want to take a chance at thriving, if you can thrive in this year, and we don't know, then you got to trust the people you hired a little bit. The athletic component, I think that the building on campus is one that's a lot more split, and one that I certainly understand the concern that some people have there.
Ryan Rockwell next. Kevin Guskowitz was fine, but when he was hired, I was surprised he had no past ties to MSU. I'm not shocked he left. Going forward, trustees and the president should be alums. These positions should be held by people with ties to the university and not affiliated with politics.
So the ties help. I don't think you need to hire within, though. But I get that. I get the idea that, like, this is why somebody leaves, and somebody who runs into some roadblocks, who's an alum or cares about the university deeply, is not gonna run like that. The challenge is, like, Alan Haller was an alum and seemed like a good fit until he wasn't. And for different people, that became apparent at different stages. I was one of the later converts to realizing it wasn't going to work, obviously. I think I would just like to see different contracts. I mean, I would, if I was a board member and you talk about oversight, I would want the presidential contracts, and this may limit who you get a little bit, to be very clear about if you leave before 5 years, the buyout is severe. Not only is the buyout severe, every initiative you put in place is up for review. Because you don't get to hit and run. You don't get to come in and change campus and then not be around for any of it. So, like, there'd be a 5-year minimum on this stuff. Plus, these searches take a year. The ratio to time served versus time searched needs to be more than, like, 5-1. Like, you can't have these 2.5-year deals.
But would you have to overpay if you had that stipulation?
There's
not
no
many
overpay.
people are going to take
You're
that.
paying
5-year
Anton
deal.
Bonke probably a couple million. You're paying Jeremy Fears like probably 3.5. Like, this is the point guard of the university.
Give Guskowitz 100% raise.
Yeah, but the next president should come in at least $2 million. That does not, like, you get somebody legit and pay them well and make the deal so that, and obviously you can get rid of them if they're failing, but you can't have people coming in and not being committed fully when they run into a headache. That said, the board should do well to be less of a headache if they can.
Dave Lincoln next. Number 1, Guskowitz got the offer from Clemson and had already made up his mind to leave before MSU tried to get him to stay by doubling his salary. I give him credit for being principled and telling the trustees to shove it. Bring back Luana K. Simon and Mark Hollis. And 2, because of the incompetent trustees, I'm embarrassed for MSU. Spartan trustees will screw it up. Please schedule a grief counselor for a future show. Ordering some comfort food like a box of Groovy Donuts might also help.
Well, I will say, if you are just watching the Tigers nightly or feeling the uncertainty at MSU, or just bummed for whatever reason, things aren't great in life, Groovy Donuts can bring you some brief joy, and it really does change your mood. Go to groovydonuts.com, of course. This week is hold on, give me some Hoff. I should have had this ready to go. Yeah,
you should have.
I apologize.
And I ride and I ride. I ride through the city's backside.
This week is National Donut Day. I believe Thursday is National Donut Day, one of the great holidays of all time. If you want to celebrate the holiday that really ought to be that. We ought to do that once a month, just National Donut Day of the month. Go to groovydonuts.com. 2 locations, Lake Lansing Road, East Lansing, and also in Williamston.
It's actually Friday, June 5th.
See, I didn't get it right. I was looking at last year's June 4th. Apologies. Thank you for saving my ass. This Friday at Groovy Donuts, 2 locations.
National Donut Day.
National Donut Day.
It's tough to get those. It's easy to get those confused, sometimes.
2025 and 2026?
No, just National Donut Day.
Oh, I see.
They got a day for everything.
Yeah.
David Jackson next. I can no longer watch the Tigers. There's nothing to watch until September 19th football with the Spartans at Notre Dame and LSU at Ole Miss. My God, what a nothing summer. At least tell me that there's hope for a 2017 Parker Meadows comeback and that Max Clark is the real deal. Well, David, there's a possibility that Parker Meadows might come back to his 2017 form.
Oh, goodness.
Max Clark is the real deal. That's it.
That's the hope, is that you get more McGonagalls coming up. And
and we get a return on Scooble. I think
Yes.
that's what we should hope for.
Yeah.
Because that Verlander deal that we I mean, that keeps getting brought up, and I don't know.
They're due some luck in the trade market. Yeah.
Matt Salisbury next. It sounds and seems like MSU football had a decent recruiting weekend on paper. At least they're getting some interest, and Fitzgerald seems to know what he wants.
Yeah, the type of player they want, the size they want, it's a little different. Yeah, no, it's there is a type, and the way they're trying to recruit on the offensive line. These are all, look, they've tried to do it before, and one of the things that happens when you've been around a program and seen all at every level, right? My first year covering Michigan State football was a pretty frustrating year for Mark D'Antonio. That was that 2012 season after they had sort of reached the pinnacle. And then to watch that rise and that decline and then what's happened since and the blips, it's hard to believe bullshit. And you don't know what is bullshit. And so they're going to have to prove it on the field. But I do think this is better to have this momentum than not. And then you have to do enough in the fall that people can't ding you and it doesn't feel like the wheels are coming off. And then the resources have to be there and all that stuff. But they need a little momentum this fall. But this I don't know. It piqued my interest this weekend and next, and some of the guys that are coming in. I think that's a pretty good sign.
Max next. We are snake bit. Samson Gash coming up lame at the state track meet. Spartan football can't get a break. And bonus, congrats on becoming a father, Couch. Something we found as our kids grew up. Every age is the best age. Enjoy the journey. Man, you guys must have lived right, Max. Every age is the best age. There's got to be.
It is fun. It is. It's like I'm already missing. So she's 7 weeks old now.
Yeah,
and
fast.
There are parts. But there are parts of like being 3 weeks old that were fun. She was so tiny. It was like, and now there's more eye contact. There's tummy time. I'm sorry. This is going to be a long show, a long summer for everybody. To the Samson Gash thing. Yeah, I don't know how severe that is. But he did get hurt at the
what a great name,
Division I. Yeah, it is a good
Samson Gash
200-meter dash at the prelim. So that's not great. Was it hamstring or whatever? I'm guessing.
Be a good porn name, Samson Gash.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Nolan, what do you think? He says yes. Okay. Ralph E. Number 1, MSU football will only go as far as their depth allows this year. And 2, Graham, we need an updated picture of Cora pinned to the top of your feed. I'm sure she's all grown up.
Well, the plan is to kind of keep her off social media. I'm not really comfortable, and my wife especially.
Yeah, that doesn't work out, really.
Yeah, my wife is not comfortable with her being
the way Couch tweets.
Yeah, she doesn't need to be part of that.
Yeah,
that's why the picture is like, it's with a muskox flannel, is every baby should have, but just sort of the side of her face with an eye. At some point, maybe we'll feel comfortable with it. The thing about a baby is they don't really look how they're going to look as a kid or adult. Like I'd be more once she's 2, I'd be like a little more concerned about it. But I don't know that we're going to do that. My wife would, I had to get that last one approved. It was like there's usually, yeah.
Approved. Bibby, MSU will have more basketball banners the next 2 years than football wins this year.
Okay, so
more basketball banners.
Do the math on that.
Fuck. So he's saying the football team is going to win 1 game.
Well, no, he's saying it could be good for basketball.
Oh.
What if the basketball team has 4 banners in the next 2 years and football has 3 wins?
I see. I got you. The next
so it
2
could
years.
go a lot of ways. I mean, what if you win? Think about this: if you win the Big Ten regular season, Big Ten tournament, NCAA tournament, I guess the Final Four is a banner too. So you have to at least get to the Final Four. You could wind up with 6 in the next 2 years. So that means football. So if football gets 5 wins this year, Bibby is saying guaranteeing at least 2 Final Fours and 2 Big Ten titles each year.
I like it.
Yeah,
we need that. Melinda, who is listening up in Harbor Springs. I'm a proud MSU alumnus, and I have to confess I couldn't care less who the last, current, or next president is, nor am I surprised Dr. Guskowitz resigned for a job in a state with greater weather and nearly 25% raise of his $1 million MSU salary. A large percentage of Michigan residents would move to the Carolinas if offered a 25% bump to their household income. I'm curious if Graham can name the new president of Columbia College. Wouldn't blame him if he can't. Very few alumni care about trustee and administration news.
It's a very good point. I do. I'm trying to, without looking up the president of Columbia College. I want to say it's
you looked it up.
No. I don't have it. I don't have it offhand. It's a very good point. It is a good point, and I don't pay a ton of attention. There's some things that have happened at Columbia lately that bothered me with the journalism program and everything there. Hold on one second. Let me get some.
What are you doing?
Looking it up. Dr. Shantae Bolton. Last July, a year ago. I didn't know who that person was, and I apologize. I've not been featured in the alumni magazine, so I've not been giving lately. Yeah, I know. I'm not pleased about it. Being humble and all.
You have to be at least in the top, I don't know, 100 alumnus?
Yeah. No, it's.
No?
I think more people do care about this than you do, Melinda. And I understand a lot of people care about athletics, so they care about just, the experience for Nolan at MSU, for example, for Nolan the intern, is not going to change greatly next year. He's not going to feel whether Guskowitz is there or not, I guess, other than like if there are not shovels in the ground for some major building or something like that. But so maybe you're right. And good point. I don't know. I didn't know who the Columbia College president was until just now.
Janet in Plymouth. Number one, hope Graham and Cora got to enjoy this gorgeous weekend. Does Graham think Gretchen would take the MSU president's job? I think she'd be perfect. However, I get the idea she thinks she's too big time to stay in mid-Michigan. But the $2 million a year going rate has to be enticing, right? 10 times more than she makes now. And two, is it true Guskowitz was a finalist for the University of Virginia presidency last year? Among other jobs he was fishing for in 24 and 25. I don't like how the media allowed him to create this toxic MSU board narrative if he's a job hopper who's been trying to leave for the southeast from the moment he got here. His wife didn't even move to East Lansing. I mean, come on.
So I've heard the Virginia thing, and there may, I've heard it from people that I respect, and so I don't know, to be honest with you. I never thought him as a lifer, but certainly somebody who that quickly would be looking at other jobs. And I believe they have a child who is almost graduating high. Like that might have had more to do with the age of their kid than her. But frankly, they still had their house in North Carolina. I know that because I know people who were at that house at a party not that long ago. And so maybe that's something you require they stay 5 years and they sell their previous house. I don't know. That seems a bit much. But certainly you want to make sure you get the next person has to be committed. At the same time, you don't want to lower your standards to get that commitment. You don't want somebody who's all in on Michigan State, true green, all this crap, and then isn't talented enough to do the job well. You need somebody who's you need a mix. But
if you were looking for a president and you spoke with them in the pre-interview or whatever, and they said, yeah, my wife is going to still live here, would that be a red flag for you?
Not necessarily if I knew why. If I knew you had a senior in high school or something like that or whatever it was. It's a fair point. I don't know all the circumstances. I shouldn't speculate.
Couch on fire. That's just a question. The chorus of Hinch Must Go is getting much louder now, and I may join in myself soon. Pure baseball ugliness right now. And bonus, Jason, after a very lackluster golf weekend, we've got the Women's U.S. Open at Riviera. Go Nelly. And the Memorial this weekend. Let's get some bets in. Let's do it, Couch on Fire. By the way, last week when I said that I'm off Sepp Straka forever, I have a Sepp Straka ticket for the Memorial.
Of course.
I could not. Yeah, that's what I get for watching last night. Watch some things. So, yeah, Sepp Straka already. Got 2 bets in. I got Jake Knapp and Sepp Straka. I can't wait to go to this thing Thursday. I can't tell you how excited I am to go see this. It's going to be.
Well, it's a cool idea. How did you guys come up with it? What was the plan?
I saw that next week was the Memorial, and then I Google mapped how far away it was, and then I told the wife, I said, hey, what do you think about going to this tournament? And the best wife ever said, absolutely, let's do it. And then we booked a hotel, and tickets are cheap, and you get to go walk the grounds all day.
How many years is this for you guys married?
4.
4 years. Okay.
This will be the 4th year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 22. What is this? Yeah, 4 years.
We're at
over a decade, about a decade together, I think.
My wife and I are going to be at 10 years in late August. So It feels like a big one, like I need to do something.
You have to, yeah.
But and so there will be something, but like ultimately
renew the vows.
I don't know what that, but having Cora definitely. It's not like you're going to take some trip. We can't leave her yet. It's not like one of those things. No, you can't.
When can you leave your kid?
Well, they got to. I mean, I don't know. We're just not going to do it at 4 months or whatever. I don't think.
I mean, now I'm not talking like for a week. You can't go to Spain or something, but like.
Yeah, you can
You
do it
go up
overnight.
north?
I don't know. She's still like
Just a weekend?
Yeah, you still pumping and breastfeeding and all that stuff.
You
it's
are?
Not, I'm not
You
personally.
pumping?
I do have man boobs, but that's not what I'm doing. I wish I could help out in that regard. It's a lot.
I get made fun of here. So we told the intern, Nolan. Matty B, number one, Scott Harris needs to say something. There has to be accountability to the fan base. This team isn't just bit by the injury bug. They're terrible, especially when he was smug about the roster. And two, there is no world of a Michigan alum should be serving on the MSU board, especially with confidential information.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is we don't know who. I mean, anybody can run, and we don't know who these people are, and we just vote. So yeah, that's the system should be. If that's a concern, and I understood it would be for a lot of people, then the system should be different. Does Scott Harris need to say something right now? Should he?
He's not going to say anything.
He should. Though.
I don't want to hear from AJ or Scott Harris or Illich. They're not going to say anything that's going to be meaningful.
Okay,
it's just going to frustrate us more.
Yeah,
I mean, do you think Scott Harris is going to say that he was wrong about some of these things?
No, but I think he should have you're past Memorial Day, 2 months into the season, things aren't going right presser, where he just talks for a little bit, where you just answer questions, just make yourself accessible.
Has he done
Don't
something like that before?
No, because he's a defensive guy, and that's the problem. He's not. He may or may not be very good at certain aspects of the job. The jury's still out, but he's not great at the communication part of it, and you can make your life a lot easier if you're good at that. So.
Scotty Green's El Camino, quote, just because a lot of the names look the same doesn't mean the team is the same. This team is changing on an individual and collective level, end quote. You know what? Scott Harris was right. I just didn't know he meant that they're all changing to mega ass. Trade anyone not named McGonagall or Dingler. McGee. McGonagall. I hope Comerica is empty. They should have a public shaming for Scott Harris. Well, how do we have the shaming if it's empty, though? Or do we shame him at Comerica or, like, outside? I'm down to shame. I'm down to pick it or
So we've
something.
talked about this before. We talked about it before the season when it didn't look like they were signing anybody, and then they made some moves, right? There was some talk that you can't if you're going to Comerica Park, you're part of the problem. And I think you have to decide how you want to speak up about it. If you look at this as
Can you really throw that label on fam? I mean, if you're
right.
part of the problem.
And
Some people want to just, it's a nice day out. And you want to hit the park.
And now, you know what? The tickets get inexpensive, less it's easier to go. It's easier to get good seats.
How about those concessions? They should go down, too.
They should go down. And it's tough because is this a result of not spending? The payroll is high enough, but it doesn't seem like a smart, great payroll. Is this what? How do you voice yourself as a fan, and do you let them react to this? Look, they made the playoffs 2 years in a row. This has been shit, total shit. But do you let them see what they do at the trade deadline and take a swing and not, if they don't do anything at the trade deadline and then Scuba walks and they don't do anything in the offseason, you have to speak up in some way with your lack of presence. But I don't know if you have to do that right now.
Mr. Benjen next. I just ripped up my season wins total betting slip on the Tigers. 6 for 21 in May. Worst record in the AL, 12 games out of first. 7.5 games out of the wild card spot.
It's amazing it's not more than that.
Baked. I thought it was more than that. All right. Baked. Greetings from Montreal, where the strippers go on strike. Seriously, what's next? A strike at Hawaii Spa? There should be.
Yeah. Union at
Why
Hawaii
shouldn't
Spa.
strippers have a union?
They should.
Yeah,
why not?
It's a gig.
Yeah. It is
a job. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
Just sit on guys wearing sweatpants every day.
Yeah.
You could have a union rep.
Deal with 21-year-old Jason who doesn't pay, and runs out,
Absolutely.
I mean, that is your picture still up there,
Deja vu.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
People probably don't know that story. Someday we'll have to tell it again,
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah.
Professor. Number 1, Framber Valdez will be this generation's Juan Gonzalez.
Oof.
And 2, Tigers will move 8 players before the trade deadline.
So the difference between Valdez and Gonzalez is they had been really bad for a while in the 90s, and they signed Gonzalez a huge contract, and obviously it didn't work. It was probably juicing, whatever it was. He just didn't hit well for the Tigers. But I remember it felt like it had the potential to be like a Pudge Rodriguez move 4 or 5 years later. I remember going to see, I was in Chicago, at Columbia College Chicago, where I don't know the president now. But was there and went to opening day, the opening day weekend when Gonzalez was on the team, was kind of fired up about it, and it never worked out. But
didn't Gonzalez turn us down though? Like I think we offered him like $100 million, like in that range, and I think Juan Gonzalez turned us down or something.
No, Gonzalez, they got Gonzalez.
I thought, but we got out of we got out of paying him or something because then he went to the Rangers and got paid there. Or am I misremembering that?
Yeah, totally. He started with the Rangers, came to them after right. Hold on, give me some honk. We're gonna get this totally wrong.
You get some lads. It's been 9 times.
Highway to the danger zone. Right into the danger zone.
So he did go back to the Rangers. He went to the Indians and then back to the Rangers. And but he cut his teeth. He made his name with the Rangers. It was they did get out of paying him some because the Rangers. He was there for a decade. Detroit signs him big in 2000, and then in 2001 he's with the Indians. Hold on. Let's see here. Yeah, it was an 8-year, $140 million contract. They offered him that. Sorry, we're getting this all screwed up. I apologize. Yeah, I thought he actually signed that. You're right. I'm misremembering it completely. I apologize.
No, you're wrong.
What a show.
That's my favorite part when you get involved with Couch, though. When you're trying to say, like, I think I remember. No, actually, you're wrong. Without him knowing, without having any idea. That's the best part about Couch. Clint, one ball Beatty next. Number 1, MSU beats Notre Dame in South Bend this fall. I don't know how, but they do. And 2, the Spartans win 7 games this fall. I don't know how, but they do. And 3, the Tigers will win 6 in a row. And apparently he doesn't know how, but they will.
So, for one ball's predictions here, let's do an Ebling here. What's more likely? MSU beats Notre Dame, the Spartans win 7 games total, or the Tigers
shows so much pressure.
At some point, oh, God, yeah. When you're like coasting with them, you're like, oh, a million hypotheticals. I got to be ready.
Jesus, how does Stephen Brooks do it?
The Tigers will win 6 in a row at some point this year. What would you say is more likely?
The Spartans win 7. How is MSU going to beat Notre Dame?
They're not. They're not.
Right. Spartan wins.
I think it's 6 straight for the Tigers. In baseball, there's enough variance that could happen.
Yeah, but
that's
they're
terrible.
Good week.
That's a good week.
But you don't have a bullpen.
I know, but other teams are going to quit too. There's got to be a point in the schedule. You face 2 bad teams. You're at home. They can win 6 straight. That's the most likely.
Spartans win 7 games.
Yeah, okay. There's a fair argument.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fear Spartans. The Spurs are in the finals because of tanking, and the NBA changes the lottery odds to make it more difficult to rebuild. Now, bad teams will stay in the bottom of the league longer. Also, can't believe I'm going to be rooting for a New York team to win it all. Spurs have enough rings.
So my issue with the Spurs is just the Spurs love when if you think Wemby and Cade Cunningham, which absolutely could have happened if the Pistons didn't have such bad lottery luck after Cade, if you think that would have been a duo that for a decade would be right where the Spurs are and be incredible, then you can't give the Spurs any credit either. They just lucked into this damn thing. Like the Pistons could have been Wemby and Cade. And
the Pistons could have had Castle, too.
Well, they screwed that up on their own. Oh, no, I guess he was the fourth. He was the 4th pick. Yeah. No, they got a really bad lottery luck because it was Asar Thompson with the Wemby year. But, yeah, there is part of me that every time I watch Wemby, and I love watching him. I love the emotion after they won that, I love
watching him fall. Like, as long as he's okay. But it just fascinates me watching a guy that size. Like,
I love how much he cares. I love how dumb the national media is with the Ron Harper Jr., and Rutgers, well, every time he makes a great play, it's like, who the fuck is coaching Rutgers? You know, like
who's the national media member talking about
it's that? So many of these clowns. And
is that Bayless?
Like Steve Peichel is first of all, he's a decent coach. They put all their money in these 2 guys. They did not have a cast around him, and this is why you don't do that. 2 NBA guys in today's college basketball, freshmen are not going to win for you. And Harper was hurt half the year. The whole thing was a disaster. But you understand why they did it. This is not. I mean, there are
like the Spurs. Actually, they draft well too.
Michael's a better coach than half the NBA coaches, and certainly a better basketball mind than half the clowns on X. So fuck yeah. Sorry.
Ken Chu, the best championship series in all of sports starts Tuesday. Rod Brindamore on the cusp of Spartan Stanley Cup glory. Oh yeah, Vegas Knights, Carolina.
Yeah. Expansion team versus a team nobody cares about with a really cheap owner. We found out it was cheap because he bought the Portland Trailblazers, and everybody now knows he's a cheap bastard. So there's that. Yeah. Will you watch?
What a preview.
Will you watch the Cup Finals?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I love the Cup Finals.
Got 2 TVs, so some will be on. Peplowski's knee brace. I cannot remember a combined NBA and NHL playoffs that have had less juice. Sure, Spurs Thunder delivered. That's it. That's the list. Excuse me. As for the finals, the NBA is already decided, and the NHL is between Vegas and Carolina. Yawn.
I'm telling you, the Knicks Knicks Spurs is an interesting series.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a great. I'm excited about this.
Just for the Knicks alone.
Yes.
The way the Garden is going to react. I mean,
and they
it's
haven't
a finals.
been there 50. Well, the finals in '99 and won one in over 50 years. Like,
right.
Yeah, this is.
And watching Wemby's always fascinating.
Yeah. No, it's a great. Yeah, it's
going to be really good.
Yeah.
And Vegas, Carolina. I mean, come on. Hockey Stanley Cup.
It's good. I
wish sick.
Carolina's, whatever. But
right. Like, does it matter about the two teams? I mean, obviously it sucks the Wings aren't in it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you wish it was Toronto and Montreal or somebody, a place that really, embraced it and cared enough. I mean,
I don't know. That drought's kind of fascinating too. No Canadian teams won in like 30-something years.
That's crazy.
Anyway, Munfield Keg next. The stutter step penalty kick method is the dumbest thing in sports. There are very few who can actually pull it off, and the fact that Eze is still using that technique after missing so many at Crystal Palace is infuriating. Just a brutal way to lose a Champions League final.
Yeah, it was rough. And, the I hate that style. I hate that stutter because you're always like, they don't have confidence in what they're actually doing. If you go up there with if a great penalty kick can't be stopped. And the stutter, to me, results in fewer great penalty kicks and more misses. It's brutal.
Kevin from Rochester Hills next. Number 1, the Tigers are World Series contenders. Baked. 2, Christian Pulisic is Freddie Adu. And 3, fish tacos are underrated.
They are underrated, and partly because they're low calories but really good. I'm a fish.
I always just worry about the fish, like wherever you get them. Like if you're at a nice restaurant. And like, what are the other options?
You're in Ovid. Where do we get this fish from?
Yeah, there is a food truck in Ovid, dude. And if they had fish tacos, there's no way.
Okay,
I'd be getting those. What happened to Freddie Adu?
He didn't make it. He wasn't
still
good.
Alive?
No, but people get it's sort of like he was a lesser version of Jennifer Capriati. When you come in at 13, it's like it's hard because first of all, you're not an adult at that age. So if you mature fast, you might be amazing for 13. But the idea that you're going to continue to be, you just can't evaluate a 13-year-old on what they're going to be as an adult.
A 13-year-old doesn't want to play tennis for 12 hours a day. That's what happened to Jennifer Capriati.
Yeah, and she came back and had a decent career, but she had burned out, and a lot do. A lot of these players that start really young do get burned out at some point and take a break, and some of them come back and have successful careers, but the burnout is real.
Thomas next. I hate to disagree with Graham, but until sports teams make tickets more affordable for average people, I don't think I'd be a bad Tigers fan for taking advantage of cheap tickets to go to a game this season.
No, I don't think so either. And because when we were talking about that, it was before the year when they hadn't gone out and got Valdez. They hadn't, it just felt like they weren't making a move.
Verlander come back.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody got excited for that.
I mean, this was not a great offseason. And obviously they didn't do enough with their lineup, and they just said guys were going to improve. That's like me saying I'm going to improve doing this show, but it's going to be a different show, but I'm going to still be in this chair.
But the LSJ comes first.
I mean, the show's it's going to be what it is. I don't know what.
Were you about to say it's fucking terrible?
No, because it's not. It's not. We're better than a lot.
Andrew Gauthier, the first sunburn of the year is painful but oddly satisfying. It really is.
Is it?
Yeah, because I look better with a tan. When I was cutting clips of the last show, I was like, man, you know what? I want to be tan guy all year because I do feel like I look better with a tan. Just a base tan. I don't want to get too crazy, but like.
So I was at the state track meet on Saturday.
But you boil.
Like
you turn red. Like
well,
lobster.
It's the first. It's a tough one because often, I'm. By the time I get to the end of May, I haven't had a ton of time out there. Playing a little softball, a few things. I've had some time out in the sun, but it's the first day. Like I'm out for like 5 hours on the infield of a football field. Just no clouds in the sky. I wear a hat and all that, and I put a lot of suntan lotion on and reapplied and all that. But I forgot about my calves. My calves are burned. I mean, it hurts to put them on a pillow. It hurts to it's just. I don't find that oddly satisfying. I understand what you're saying, but. Andrew sounds like somebody who's not yet 40, is what he sounds like. It sounds like somebody who's,
Or has soft calves.
Yeah.
Sparty Barb, number 1, the Spurs win the NBA championship in 6 games. And 2, Graham, ask Lansing Mayor Shore's wife, Erin, if she will donate her Jeopardy winnings to the Lansing Promise. And 3, if you plan to visit the MSU Dairy Store this summer, follow them on Instagram for directions to navigate the on-campus construction. That's a good idea. And bonus, turning your takes in on time, but not having them read on a 2-hour plus long show is ass.
Wow, Sparty
Barb.
Barb.
I honestly wanted to read them, but Graham cut them. Didn't want me to read it. So
Barb, I do not remember. Unless this is a show we didn't do, that might be it. So we might have missed a show. There might have been one of the shows where we didn't do a show.
Sorry, Barb.
Yeah, I would never do that to you intentionally.
That'd be funny if you did, though.
Dairy store. That's a good. Construction is no fun.
I hope you tell people at the dairy store about our podcast, though.
Absolutely.
Like when you go, Barb.
We should have a couch in the Rube. There they have like an Izzo, a D'Antonio or whatever. They should have a couch in the Rube cone flavor.
Hell yeah,
that would be amazing.
I would do a live if they made us a cone. I would do a live show.
Heck yeah.
Bob in Fort Myers next. Just curious to hear your guys' thoughts on Eastern Michigan girls golf student in quotes athletes literally living across the country, taking online courses and only flying in for tournaments, and dovetailing, a large percentage of NCAA roster spots are now going to international athletes. Sucks for the millions of American parents being conned by 10 years of travel sports. See below, he says.
So there's
I've seen this story.
Yeah, I don't think this is correct. I don't think they're flying in separately. I could be wrong on this.
I think you might be wrong because I did read. I think someone sent me this, and I did scan through the article, and it said that they were traveling, like they didn't have to be certain spots. That they were doing online classes and traveling to golf tournaments.
Well, let's start here, and Nolan, the intern, at some point we can bring this up with him because online classes are ass anyway. Like if you're taking online classes,
not if you're good at taking them that way.
It's just not the same. Like if you're paying a lot of money to go to college and it's your education. Fucking show up in person. Like an online class is like first of all, if you're going to MSU and you're taking a gen ed online that you could take at Lansing Community College or anywhere else, the way your financial literacy is beyond lost already. But the whole point is being somewhere. It's such a better experience. It's such a better educational experience to be in person. So the online thing, I have an issue with. All these guys and all these folks and athletes do it all the time. I don't really think it's a real. I'm not saying it's not a real degree because they're online courses, but I think it's a lesser. I think it's a lesser education is what I would say, safely. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I don't love it if they're just, they're sort of hired guns and they fly in. But I also don't want to shit on EMU. I mean, every time, there's a lot of problems in major sports, and some of these schools are trying to find their niche, and all of a sudden Detroit Mercy basketball, got an APR fine because everybody's transferring out, and those guys can't make the NCAA tournament next year. If EMU wants to be great in girls golf and wants to skirt rules that other major universities are making a mockery of, it's EMU. I'm not going to shit on them.
But is it really skirting a rule if there is no rule?
There is no rule.
That's
right,
what I mean.
I
can't blame a coach for Eastern Michigan, which I don't forget which college he left, but he left there after 20 years or something to go to Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
So you want to sit there and set a precedence, and how do you get players to Eastern Michigan?
And the funny thing is,
you got to try.
They want to be great in girls golf, but still, no. Even at Eastern Michigan, where there are fewer fans, and people,
they don't care.
Basketball and football is what they want to have. Yeah. If you're a alum of Eastern Michigan, those are the things you care most about.
PZ next. The amount of times I've watched that Gabrielle penalty miss for Arsenal in the Champions League final is honestly unsettling to me. But I don't think I've ever felt joy like I did when it happened. And bonus, Wemby is transcendent. Watching him makes me wonder if we're really not all that insignificant in the universe.
He is amazing.
It's a bake take.
Yeah, but he is amazing, though. It is, I don't know, he's just very few people who are that hyped turn out to be worthy of all of it right away. And
but I come away not impressed when he dunks.
Well, not dunking, but everything else.
I know, but like some of the announcers, they go nuts when he dunks.
But of the many stupid things the previous generation did, no offense if you're older than us, it's the fact that big guys in basketball had to sit in the paint and couldn't learn to shoot. What, do they think they were incapable of it? They were thinking of being skilled or whatever. I mean, you remember when we were growing up in basketball, when the first kid to 6 foot, you're just a big lumbering
Get down
kid.
in the post. Yeah. Rebound. Fundamentals.
Don't dribble.
Use the square in the backboard.
Yeah.
Chris. Next. I'm sad about the ending, but Arsenal took an all-time team to penalties. Proud of the season and can't wait for the next one. That said, seeing fans of other clubs celebrate PSG's win like their favorite team winning a trophy or avoiding relegation is comical. Okay, back to the Tigers for Jason's sanity.
It is frustrating. There's a lot of Arsenal hate, and I understand they don't play a beautiful style of soccer, but I don't like their rival. I hate their rival Tottenham, and I don't have any hate for Arsenal. I don't really understand that some people say it's it's the Michigan State rivalry is Arsenal Tottenham, and
do they?
Tottenham
is that what they're
MSU.
saying?
Well, that's what some people have told me on X. Yeah, Twitter.
That sounds like Blue Sky. Frank Vashner next. Number 1. How about some love for Adrian College baseball for making the D3 World Series? And 2, my suggestions for MSU Board of Trustees are Spiro, Latz, and Norm the Cat.
Interesting.
Bonus.
Would Norm be able to sit still?
Yeah, I think you could. You have to give him some of those treats that I give him, those catnip treats. But he'd do it. Bonus. I would suggest Paul Davis for Board of Trustees, but he would just call the spouses of those he disagrees with whore. All of you have whore wives. Terrible vote. That was Paul Davis there, Nolan.
Well done.
Bonus. Anyone who wants to see some good baseball should check out the Michigan American Legion State Tournament at Adrian College, July 25th through the 29th. I'll be on the mic.
Heck yeah.
I got to say,
Frank.
If I was closer,
yeah,
I think I'd go to that.
Adrian's not that far.
Yeah, but how far? I'm talking like 10 minutes.
Oh, it's a little far for you.
If it was in Ovid.
Yeah. If it was in Ovid,
yeah, I'd go. Scott Skiles, long pinky nail next. Big Gretch at Big Green as MSU's president. Count me in. And we would have to add a soccer-style song cheer just for her. I'm sure Couch has one in mind. Oh, God. And Baked, I smoked about 3 bowls of this 30% THC sativa and don't feel like I feel anything. But I can't really do anything. Indica blend is better. Yeah, but indica makes you not want to really do anything. If I smoke indica, like I'm couch hugging, or I just feel like going to bed. And I'm not talking about Graham couch hugging. Mm-hmm. Just feels like I want to go to sleep. I have to have some sort of sativa. So, Scott Skiles, tell me where you got this stuff and what strain it is, so I know to avoid it. That's it.
That's sorry.
You done?
Yeah.
Nothing about Big Gretch? Okay.
Well, no, I don't think it's going to happen, but. You never know. I mean, what does she want her next chapter to be? And if she wants to be now, if Michigan State's in a spot where they could use some stability as president, she could be somebody who's known as the governor and president of Michigan State University. Those are 2 pretty big jobs, and I don't know that she'd have anything else that's more high profile.
But you want 5 years if you offered her.
Well,
a
she would do that. She wouldn't be somebody. I think she's. It wouldn't have to be her final act.
She says she's not running for president in 28?
Yeah, she's not.
So she's not. So there's, okay.
But what else do you want to do with your life? And it would pay, she can make money writing a book or doing a tour, speaking, whatever. But if you want to do something that besides doing
just
guest appears on
Pelosi's
CNN,
stock portfolio,
right.
Do that.
But if you want to do something that's like memorable and be known for something else, that would be it. Whether they want it or not, I don't know.
Scott Skiles, read that. Richard Kane, the Pistons were a buzz wreck. Tigers are a horror show. MSU is a dysfunctional dumpster fire. And the cherry on top of this crappy start to summer, Jason hates my poems. What even is the point anymore? Bonus.
I have to read this next one because you don't read his poems. I get the poem. Here we go.
Sorry,
Here's the Richard poem. I try to write poems that don't bore while Graham thinks they score, making him laugh with delight, but Jason implores, please no more. Well done, Richard. Well done. Sir.
See, I like that one. That was actually a good one. I didn't like the way it was read.
Sorry,
but
I'm not as good as you. That's the whole show.
I'm
your
saying.
Voice.
So
yeah.
I'm sorry. So Richard, I have to say I just think it was the way it was thrown into the last set of like Twitter things or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That one was good, Richard. I apologize. Hans Jurgen, number 1, Tigers should trade everyone not named Dingler or McGonigal. McG. 2, check out my website, www.baseballsucks.com.
Remember when you had to put the 3 W's before you
I know. You have to say it all the time.
1994.
Yep. 3, if I see another Tigers closer give up a walk-off, I will stab out my eyeballs. Bonus. Todd Blackledge is high on MSU football.
You sent a link to it. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't know what his
How do you
reasoning
not
is.
crush that tape? If someone sends you Todd Blackledge video, you don't just click?
I'm sure Cora just shit her pants or something. I had other things going, So, yeah.
It's disgusting. Jake Hawkins, number 1. The NBA's next big thing and star is here in Victor Wembanyama. Great job beating the defending NBA champions and Mr. Flopper SGA. I guess it'll be an interesting NBA Finals. But damn it, the Pistons got snubbed of getting Wembanyama. Guess the NBA draft lottery is rigged. That's right, Hawk, it is. 2, hell yes, season 2 of Ted on Peacock is worth it to watch.
Follow up.
Very, very funny indeed. And don't worry, Jason, you got your wish. because Seth MacFarlane announced that season 2 was going to be the last because of how expensive it is to make and produce episodes of the show, Ted. And 3, your sound clip of a guy saying, "That's crazy," sounds like 97.1 radio producer David Hull. Is it? Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
That's Tony D. Who's David Hull?
Tony
That's
Dombrowski.
crazy.
I know Tony Dombrowski is, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said David Hull. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. But yes, I'm not happy that the show, I'm just saying Ted was great.
The
and
movie,
it just seems
yeah.
like they're just trying to squeeze the life out of some of these things. Like, I don't know. I just don't have any interest. But I'm happy that it's back for you. Jerk guy, number 1, Everything is Awful. Sung to the tune of Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie. And 2, the Tigers are obviously now sellers, but I'm not certain where to go with the possibility of a new cap and floor.
Well, what's really interesting, too, is the idea that there might not be baseball next year. And so you've got this lost year for the Tigers, and then what does it lead to? It's depressing. And so I think you hope they make some moves that make the future look bright, and then you pay attention to the Lions and football season and basketball, and you just try to forget this summer, the World Cup, French Open, Wimbledon, whatever it is.
Golf.
There you are. Norm's picks. Download the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app and take Norm's picks, and I'll have some World Cup picks and French Open stuff. I've been winning a little on the French Open. I don't feel real confident about giving out the picks. I've just been kind of lucky with it, but maybe by Wimbledon we'll be there. We appreciate all of you producing our show, as always. We appreciate, Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. We appreciate Nolan the intern making his debut and making our show better. Anything that happens positive on the show, it's Nolan. We will be back Wednesday, 2-show week again. Jason and the lovely Therese head to the memorial. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Room.